Welcome back to On the Wild, episode number 48. I'm Anuj Bhaskar. With me, as always, Riley Keenan.
We're back.
We're back, but we're not really,
not really
back.
back.
Like we're missing some lighting. If you guys could see the way the camera is set up, we have a stool,
A briefcase that's actually a record player.
and a DVD of the Blade Runner
Yeah, Blade
holding
Runner.
up the lens so it
Yeah.
doesn't tilt over.
Yeah,
So
we're
we-
missing both our lights. We don't have stands.
Yeah, we don't have the arms.
We're making do.
We're back. Though. We're back.
Yeah,
in
we're
Oakville.
back in Oakville for the holidays.
Yeah. But speaking of the holidays, Merry Christmas to anybody who's celebrating Christmas today, because it is Christmas today as the time it's
Oh yeah,
coming
it's
out.
coming out on Christmas.
I know it already passed, but happy Hanukkah.
Yeah, happy Kwanzaa as well.
Happy Kwanzaa. And if you don't partake in any of that, happy holidays.
Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about movies today.
Yeah.
We know Spider-Man came out. We'll talk about that later, but we wanted to touch on Christmas movies first.
Christmas movies, yeah.
Holiday movies, if you want to
Put it that way, yeah.
What is your favorite Christmas movie?
When you asked me this yesterday, I could literally only think of two.
Same. I came here and we talked about it. We had the exact same two in mind.
Elf
and
Home Alone.
Yeah.
Or Home Alone 2 if you want to add 3.
Yeah.
But I think mine's probably Home Alone 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so nostalgic. Like, it comes on literally every year, and I'll watch it every single time.
Yeah.
I just remember being a kid and just watching that movie and when you see the Christmas tree in New York, it was awesome. Plus Joe Pesci's in it too. Like, it's a great movie.
Yeah, those two are great. But for me, I thought about one when I got here. It was the claymation Rudolph.
Oh.
Yeah, from like, I don't know when it was made. I think it was made in like the 60s or something like that. But that movie is a movie that I watched a lot as a kid.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
What?
And so hard to make. Claymation, you have to like move it.
Yeah, it's literally snap a shot.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Those take
So
so
time
long to
consuming.
make. And they're so hard to make.
The amount of patience and like discipline that would go into doing that would be ridiculous. You'd have to go back and look at the previous shot to make sure everything's like continuity and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other ones I thought of too. I don't like growing up now. I like it. It's a good movie, great acting. The Grinch Stole Christmas.
I didn't even think about that one, but that's a good one.
Like I think I said this before on the podcast. It terrified me as a kid. Like, Jim Carrey as the Grinch terrified me. But
He's great.
yeah, he's incredible. Like,
I saw a video of this guy at the mall, like where they have like the Santa thing in the mall.
yeah,
They had the Grinch.
really,
Yeah, and the person who was the Grinch was exactly like Jim Carrey.
really.
Yeah.
Good on him. But
Yeah.
like, dude, if I was a kid and I was there, I'd be like, I'm not going.
Oh, of course.
I'm not going to see Santa.
It was amazing. I wish I like saved the video or something like that.
That's pretty sick. Good on him. I love
amazing.
seeing that stuff. Like when people are at like Disney World and guys dressed as like Kylo Ren and a little kid's like pulls out his lightsaber thinking it's actually like I just love stuff like that. You see that in like Spider-Man too, like little kids. But yeah, the only other one I could really think of is like is it called A Christmas Story or A Christmas Carol? That one was Scrooge. I don't know, but that one was crazy. Like a flashback, time travel, or something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, those movies are classics. Elf is another great one. But at the same time, it's like it's one of those movies I've seen it so many times that it's like I don't want to watch it anymore. Mm-hmm. I've had enough of it.
Yeah.
I see that a lot. Like one of my roommates, like we were like, "Yo, let's watch Beetlejuice." I've never seen it. He's like, I'm not watching that movie." Like, why? He's like, "I've seen it 30 times. I hate it. I
haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's an interesting watch.
Yeah.
I'll say that. But yeah, on to talking about movies.
Yeah.
Obviously, in theaters right now, Spider-Man No Way Home. We're not going to do any spoilers, seeing as it's literally been in theaters for, 4 days?
More than that.
Yeah.
It came out last Friday.
Oh, yeah. And by the time it's come out, it'll be...
About a week.
Over a week. But we won't give anything away. I saw the movie 2 days ago.
I haven't seen it, but I know everything that happens
Yeah.
because Instagram's a terrible app.
Yeah, I had to stay off of social media for a little while.
I'm not one of those people that like get mad at spoilers.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, I look up spoilers myself because
Really?
I don't like surprises. So
That's true. That's fair.
yeah.
Yeah. I like...
I will say though, for Batman, I don't want spoilers.
I don't want to know anything.
That's like one movie where I don't.
Yeah. Because I'd be annoyed if like I found out who another villain was.
They really
or
haven't
something.
revealed much.
Yeah.
And whereas with No Way Home, like we won't say anything, but like you could kind of see things coming.
Yeah, there's an idea of what's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. When I think about this movie and how I rate it as a Marvel movie, as a superhero movie, it's a 10 out of 10, easily. It's. I think like we're gonna go over our top 10 Marvel movies together, but I think there's only 4 10 out of 10 Marvel movies, and this is one of them. When you talk about movies in general, I'll give it like an 8.5 because like I can't justify giving it like a higher rating than Taxi Driver or like The Godfather, but it's unreal. It's great. If you're a Spider-Man fan, you're gonna love it. I'm not even the biggest Spider-Man guy.
I'm not
I
either.
loved it.
But I will say I watched Spider-Man 1, the Tobey Maguire,
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, and Far From Home in the past week.
Yeah.
Bigger fan of Spider-Man than I was before.
I will say, like, without giving anything away, now seeing this entire trilogy play out, I really understand where they went. It did, like, they didn't have an origin story for Spider-Man. They went away from that, which I liked because we've already seen it twice. This trilogy was his origin story in a way. There's a lot of things there that is foreshadowed and they're callbacks. They did a really good job with this movie, and like a lot of people that had problems going into it, those problems were solved. I'll tell you that. Some of my problems, yeah. But also like I'm not huge on Spider-Man. Like a couple of my friends are like diehard Spider-Man fans, like favorite character ever, and they were extremely happy after being pretty mad about some of the other things that have happened. So they did a really good job. I'll give them that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go see that movie if you like superheroes at all. Like it's one of the best superhero movies I've ever seen, for sure.
But you want to start at 10 or? I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll go back from 10.
Yeah. Do you want to alternate or?
Should we alternate? I don't know.
I mean, maybe do your 10 to 6. I'll do my 10 to 6.
Okay.
5 to whatever.
Okay. You want to go first?
Sure. My number 10 is Guardians of the Galaxy. I remember we saw this together in like.
Oh yeah.
When did it come out? 2014.
2014, I think.
Yeah, us two and one of our other friends. We went and saw it together. Haven't watched it since, but I remember loving it.
Yeah, we were fired up. It's got the best soundtrack in any Marvel movie, probably any superhero movie.
That's
ever.
a lie. I've seen it once since.
Oh yeah.
But
it's
a great movie. I'll say that it's a good movie.
Just a pure soundtrack is great. The casting of each character was awesome. Bradley Cooper as Rocket, like
Chris Pratt's mate.
Yeah, Chris Pratt's incredible. Like it's the funniest, I think.
Dave Bautista,
yeah, like him just freaking out, getting mad. It shows Thanos in the end credit scene, so you're like, it's built. It's 6 years.
They show Thanos in the first Avengers movie too.
Yeah,
at the end.
Yeah. Like they did a very good job of setting.
They set it up 6 years in advance before it even actually made an appearance in the movie.
Yeah, it was really smart the way they did it, and yeah, every aspect of that movie was just awesome. It's one of those movies where you just have a ball just watching it. We were having a lot of fun.
Yeah. But my number 9 is Avengers, the first one.
Ooh, okay, classic.
It was a pretty good movie. I saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
I've seen it multiple times since. Great movie. Great story. Loki was a good villain.
I loved having Loki as a villain.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny too.
Yeah, I'll never forget the first like end credit scene of them eating shawarma together, because like they talked about like, hey, after this, like, you trying to get food, or I don't remember what they said, but
and I love how they called it back in Endgame, where when they were trying to get the Infinity Stones, and Thor said, "We're gonna go get lunch, and then I'm gonna take them back to Asgard."
yeah, they did a great job with that. I love too. Like none of them are talking; they're all like just tired and like pissed off.
Yeah,
after
and they're all in their superhero attire.
Like just imagine being the guy serving them. Yeah, just being like, dude, like, thank you.
Destroyed
like,
the city, but
it's fun.
go.
Yeah.
My number 8 is Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Ooh, okay.
I really like the movie. I think it's a good origin for that character. Yeah. Like at the beginning of the movie, he's teched up with Spider-Man. He goes to Washington. He has all the Stark tech, and he disables the training wheels, and he has like the full tech, the Stark tech.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, when his suit gets taken away, he goes back to the hoodie and like the original Spider-Man from like the YouTube that was earlier in the movie. And I just think that at the end of the movie, him taking down the Vulture. I don't know what I'm saying right now. I'm not gonna be honest. It's a great movie.
It's good.
My number 6 is or 7 is Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Yeah,
great.
A lot of people have that like really high on their list.
Yeah,
I think it's a great movie. I think Michael B. Jordan is great as Killmonger, but I can't really rank it higher than what I have above it.
Yeah, true.
But number 6 is Far From Home. I love these movies. I really do. Okay. Jake Gyllenhaal is great. I love the way that they set it up, him being his friend at the beginning of the movie, and then it kind of just switches once he receives Edith.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a great movie, and that was number 6.
That's your 6? Okay. Yeah, I'll go to my number 10. I'll give him an honorable mention because I almost put it in Shang-Chi. I've only seen it once.
Another thing about I haven't seen a lot of movies like Ant-Man. I haven't seen those. Yeah. So.
not huge.
This is a ranking based off what I've seen.
Yeah, but yeah, honorable mention Shang-Chi because some of the fight scenes, the choreography, some of the most creative stuff they've done. Also drawing back to like Asian culture and karate and taekwondo stuff like that. It was sick. It was so sick. But my number 10, I got Black Panther. I do agree with you. I think it's overrated in a sense. Like people put it.
It's
in like
a great movie.
Yeah, it's great. People put it in their top 3, and like if it resents with you, then that's one thing. But
I remember when I watched it, I thought it was a top 3 movie.
yeah, when I watched it, I was initially like, oh my gosh, like this is one of the best I've seen. I think the first half, I need to see it again. Maybe I've seen it a couple times, but Killmonger, like you said, one of the best villains we've seen. Chadwick Boseman was incredible as Black Panther. Like seeing him, we thought he was dead, and he comes back. It was just a great story. Yeah. I don't know where they're gonna go with it now that
Yeah, there's another one coming.
But I think they're going to go with the sister, which I'll love that because she was really good in that movie. She's incredibly smart. I'm pretty sure she was the one that saved Bucky. Or I don't know all the details. There's like 25 movies, but yeah,
27.
27. Oh my goodness. Okay, but yeah, moving on to number 9. I got Iron Man. I think it's probably the best origin story from the MCU of just pure like how he became that person. Captain America was close. Like the first half of the movie was great, but I feel like the second half kind of lacked a bit. Yeah. Iron Man was great the whole way through. It's just a classic.
I watched that in theaters, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't watched it in a long time though, so I couldn't put it in my top 10.
When I hadn't seen it since theaters, and when I rewatched it like last year, it felt like a whole new experience. It was very, very well done.
I think about those movies though is like Iron Man. It's an old movie. It's 13 years old, but it still feels like it could be made today.
100%.
That's what I really like about all these movies.
And they built off of it so well. Like you can tell there was a solid plan there. And Robert Downey Jr. is the best casting in all the MCU. He perfectly fits Tony Stark's character to a T. Mm-hmm. But with my number 8, I got Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I think it's got top 3 fight scene in all the MCU when Captain America and Bucky go at it on the highway with a knife. That was insane. George St. Pierre is in the movie. Mm-hmm. That's just nice to see as a Canadian and as a growing MMA fan. But yeah, that movie was great. I don't have too much to say about it. I just really like it. Number 7, I got Avengers, the original. Everything you said strikes clear with me. Like Loki was an incredible villain. Just seeing them all come together for the first time. I don't think we had seen a live action Avengers yet. So just to see them, like Thor, Captain America, all of them in the same room was just really cool to see.
I also like how they didn't just come together. There was conflict on the way of them becoming a team.
Yeah, I really like that. There should be like a sense of like, oh, you're another super guy. Like, I'm going to beat you up. And it's like, no, like I'm good. Like you. Like we're cool. So like they did that really well. I liked it. And then my number 6, I got Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I said before, unreal soundtrack. Every single actor in that movie or actress in that movie is incredible. It's hilarious the whole way through. Mm-hmm. Great storyline, intros, Thanos. It's just a great overall movie. Yeah. But now we head into our top 5. I think we're going to be pretty similar.
Should we do? How should we do this? Like 5-2, and then we.
We could just go back and forth, I guess.
Okay, my number 5 is Endgame.
Ooh. Okay.
I love Endgame. All 5 of these movies. I mean, we'll get to it later. But Endgame is a great movie.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, because we watched it together in theaters. My first watch, I was like, okay, like when is it gonna like?
I know, when is it gonna pick up? It was like,
and then it finally did, and it didn't stop.
Yeah.
And then after rewatching it again multiple times, there's no debate that this is a great movie and a great send off to, Iron Man, Captain America, and leading into different movies like the new Thor movie, Spider-Man, all that.
It did a great job. I'll say this: like if you knew me, you knew I wasn't huge on Endgame when it came out.
I remember when we saw it, you posted the poster on your Snapchat story. You're like overrated.
Yeah, no, because people were saying it was like the best movie they'd ever seen, and it was the best Marvel movie. And I was like, come on, like it was kind of slow, but like I don't have a problem with slow movies. I think it was just I hadn't seen I hadn't seen Captain Marvel yet. I hadn't seen one of the Captain Americas. Once I had watched all the movies leading up to it, the Easter eggs came flying at me. Like you start to notice a lot more things, but as you watch it again, you like it more the second time. The first time, you're more of like that shock value. You have a lot of expectations going in. Probably expectations definitely hurt me giving it a rating. Yeah. But my number 5, I got Captain America: Civil War. Basically an Avengers movie. It was pretty. It was awesome. It was the first time we had seen Spider-Man. The first time we see Black Panther. That whole the Black Panther. Bucky whole scenario was awesome, thinking that he blew it up, and the whole T'Challa family, what happened there, it was pretty awesome to see. It was shades of Thor Ragnarok, which I'm sure we'll both get to, but there's the whole movie as a whole. Like the fight scene was great, how they split the two teams up and how they made it political, but it wasn't overly political. It wasn't like prequel Star Wars where it was like, oh my God, get it over with. It was like the Sokovia Accords, I think it was called.
Yeah.
We did a report on it for Politics and Film. It was like, dude, it really made sense. Like I was almost on Iron Man's side of like, yeah, you're destroying the city. But then at the same time, I get Captain America's point of view where it's like, we're saving the world.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to mess some things up, but we're going to protect everything in return. So
that's actually my number 4. So I don't really have to explain it. I pretty much have the same sentiment for everything. So yeah, my number 4 is Civil War.
All right, there you go. My number 4, I got Thor Ragnarok. I had it at 3. I got to move it because if we're just going for best, it's probably probably my favorite, but best I have to go with it at 4. It's hilarious. Probably the second funniest behind Guardians of the Galaxy. We finally get to see Thor really come into his own after the first two were the first one was good. The second one was
trash.
A huge missed opportunity.
World is trash.
Yeah, they had a lot of opportunity there and they blew it. But this was great. It was nice to see where him and Hulk were during that whole Civil War thing. Because I remember watching Civil War like, where the heck are Thor and Hulk? But yeah, that's where they were. It was nice to see that little fight. Like the whole line about like, oh, he's a friend from work. Like there was just so much humor. You could tell like Chris Hemsworth's comedic timing is unreal. Like it's great. They're like you can see where some Marvel movies like jokes miss the point sometimes or miss the mark. He never does. He always nails it. And Korg, I can't talk about that guy enough. He's incredible.
Remember we had Sam on. We were in grade 12 Writers Craft. He was our favorite character like ever.
Oh yeah, and Sam could nail his voice like
it was
easily.
hilarious.
It was the amount of times we had dumb conversations in his voice in that class. Yeah, but that whole movie, even the final fight scene with the sister and the impact of Odin, the dad, like the whole movie was just awesome. It was nice to see also him and Loki get back together.
And it sets up Infinity War.
It perfectly sets up Infinity War. Yeah, so.
My number 3, I haven't even seen it yet, but No Way Home. I know everything that happens in the movie, and based on what you've said and what I've read online of what people think of the movie, I can't not put it in my top 3 because I know when I do see it, it's going to be top 3.
Yeah.
It may even be my number 1 based on how much I've liked Far From Home and Homecoming.
That's true. That's true.
Can't really say much on it, but
yeah.
No Way Home, my number 3, even though I haven't seen it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. My number 3, I got Avengers Endgame. It's like I said, it's grown on me a lot since seeing it, but it's just perfect. When they all come out of the blip and we finally get that Avengers assemble, because we've been waiting for it for years. Yeah. They did it at a perfect time. They got the perfect person to do it in Captain America. It was really cool, that one moment where you're like, oh my gosh, Captain America's really going to go up against this entire alien race. And then they slowly start coming back. It was an awesome moment.
Left thing calls back to Captain America.
Exactly. Him getting the hammer from Thor when he's like, I knew it. Like that callback to Age of Ultron. That was awesome.
I watched the Tom Holland interview, and he was explaining when Captain America says Avengers assemble, and he whispers assemble.
Oh yeah.
I saw an interview. It was a recent one of when he said assemble. He didn't say assemble yet, but Tom Holland went and ran when they shot the scene.
Oh.
And everybody else was behind him, and he started screaming. And he was like, my bad, guys. It's hilarious. Tom Holland's amazing.
I could just see Tom Holland being so much fun on set. Like I know all those people probably would be fun, but like him just like every time he messes up, he's probably just so apologetic. Yeah. Like I need to see like when they're finally done all these MCU movies, they got to just make a blooper compilation. And it would be the most.
They must have everything.
Oh yeah, it'd be the most viewed video on YouTube ever.
100%.
It'd be incredible. There's probably so much footage we've never seen yet. That's just amazing.
Deleted scenes.
Yeah, I still think back to that Amazing Spider-Man 2 when that deleted scene of his dad coming in when he's at the grave. I think he's at the grave of someone. I don't remember. And he's just crying. It's like, they should have put that in the movie. It's crazy. Either way, moving on. Oh, like back to Endgame right before I finish up. Also the thing about kind of Thor almost getting his redemption. I love that too because Infinity War, like you can chalk it up to a lot of people's fault. A lot of it was his because he had an aim for the head, as Thanos said. Hit him in the... I thought he was dead when that happened. When he got hit, I was so shocked when he rose up. That's another reason I got it ranked high. But yeah, you're number 2. What do you think?
Yeah, so my number 2 is Thor Ragnarok. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite superhero movies ever. Yeah. Obviously, it's my number 2. But I like how they twisted this movie. Taika Waititi, that's how you say it?
Yeah.
He's the director of this movie.
Legend.
Took it over. He's amazing. Yeah. He voiced Korg as well.
Unreal.
Just an amazing... It was comedy, but it was also like a great movie.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum, he's amazing. He's my spirit animal.
Forgot he was in that.
Even Tessa Thompson as
she was
Valkyrie.
Great. Yeah.
Her kind of turning around her character and going back to Asgard was great as well.
Hearing about her origin story was pretty awesome. Like you realize like, wow, like that was super dark and like join us, like please. Yeah. You got a lot riding on this too.
Mm-hmm. And I just love this movie. I mean, you explained a lot of it earlier, so I won't go too much into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ragnarok's my number 2.
My number 2, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I got it. I got it number 2. I think
I'm sure when I see it, it'll be 2 or 1 for me.
I think it's the second best MCU movie. I think it's the third best superhero movie. Obviously, I think Dark Knight's the best. Which, let me just say this before I even go into No Way Home. The people that are saying it's the best ever, it's better than Dark Knight, give it a week. Give it a week. It's been not even a week yet. Like, I get that there's so many incredible moments all around. It's a great movie, but I don't think we can let, obviously it's up to your subjective opinion, but if you're looking at objectively and you're talking about the movie itself, like, don't let fan service overtake plot. Like, the Dark Knight plot is perfect. There is nothing wrong with that movie. There, like, the villain takes over every scene. There's moments of morality throughout. Like, it's so well done. Jim Gordon dying and then coming back. Like, no one expected him to come back. I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Everything is incredible about that movie. There's a lot of moments in this movie that, you know, you get an applause from the crowd, which also, stop clapping. Like,
I hate it so much.
It's so annoying.
So I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to hear.
Exactly. And I'm not going to point out the exact scene because I don't want to give anything away, but I couldn't hear what the person was saying when they entered. And it's like, this is a crucial moment in the movie and people are clapping and wooing.
Yeah.
I get the excitement. It's awesome. Keep it to yourself. We don't talk during the movie, so why are we wooing? All right?
Yeah.
We're not Ric Flair. We're not Pop Smoke. Let's calm down. Like, it was just so frustrating. But yeah, I like being happy. It's awesome. But just calm down, people. Like, let's watch the movie. Let's clap when it's over.
For real.
Also, for the people that got up when the movie ended, have you ever seen a Marvel movie before?
For real, that makes me mad too.
Wait till the end of the credits. There's a lot more happening. But No Way Home. Like, fan service is awesome, but don't let it overtake your opinion. Like, still stick to the plot of the movie and what it did. I'm more focused on, like, what it's doing for the Spider-Man character now, what it did for him in the past. It did unbelievably for him. Obviously, the other moments in the movie are great too, but, like, at the end of the day, it's Tom Holland's Spider-Man movie. There's so much greatness with it that I absolutely love this movie, and I think a lot of you will too. I don't know if you'll have it as high, but yeah.
My number 1 is Avengers: Infinity War.
I got the same thing.
It's very hard for me to find or watch a movie, an MCU movie in the future, and think that it's going to be better than Infinity War. Because me personally, I love it when the villain wins.
Love it.
Because it's not expected.
Yeah.
This movie, The Dark Knight, that's my
Knight.
favorite movie of all time, and it's the villain wins. The Joker wins in that movie.
He really does.
And if I'm not a big Star Wars person, like, at all, but my favorite one's the third one where he turns into Darth Vader.
Revenge of the Sith. There's just something about the villain taking over and it being like, oh, wow, we're not going to win it. Because when you go into a superhero movie, you're like, oh, they're not going to die. They're going to end up winning.
Yeah.
And when that doesn't happen, it's like totally shifts your viewpoint. And you're like, where do they go from here? Is this movie going to end on them losing? Like, it really was a shock. And even 5 minutes into that movie, Loki dies. And it's like, wait, what? You realize how much of a badass Thanos is and the people around him. That whole movie is perfect. That's
Thanos' movie.
Yeah.
He's on screen more than anybody.
Yeah. They did an incredible job. Like we said, the build-up of Thanos is great. And then you finally get to that
perfect setup to Endgame, too.
Yeah, it really is. And him just going around getting all the Infinity Stones, like, it's just such a great story. And you can tell, like, they built towards something.
And all the Avengers meeting other people who they haven't met yet. Like, when Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Unreal. Chris Pratt.
Yeah, when Chris Pratt and then they meet Spider-Man and Tony Parker. Tony Stark.
Tony Stark.
When they're like, who is Gamora? And then Batista's like,
what is
Gamora?
Yeah.
And then
Batista's incredible.
Yeah, Peter Parker's like, what is it that they do?
Yeah. I just love Chris Pratt. Like, when he met Thor, he's like, I'm Star-Lord. He's like, what? You don't talk like that. He's like, shut up. Or like, however. But yeah, that whole movie's hilarious. There's a lot of sad points too and a lot of amazing action. I still love that the one scene of when Tony, like, kind of knights Spider-Man. It's like, you're an Avenger now. And he's like fired up. He's like, yeah.
And his smile on his face is like,
he's like smiling and then just goes away. He's like, and then he goes, oh my God, I'm an Avenger now. Like, the amount of pressure and death you're gonna face, like, it's bad. But I mean, he nailed it. We can see it in that new movie. But Infinity War is got to be the best. I think it's the second best superhero movie ever. But I'm kind of trying to look at it objectively, but at the same time, it's tough. Like, there's going to be superheroes that you like more than others. There's going to be villains you like more. Exactly. At the end of the day, like, you really can't narrow it down. I think Infinity War is, like, definitively the best, but there's a lot of people that'll say Endgame's better, and I can't knock them for that. If
you say Age of Ultron's the best, that's psychotic.
Yeah, that's nuts. But yeah, at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think there's 4 10 out of 10 Marvel movies in there: Infinity War, Endgame, No Way Home, and Ragnarok. You can push against Ragnarok, but I just think it's perfect in what
I would say Civil War is too. I love Civil War.
Yeah, I give Civil War that too. Honestly, it's top 5.
Yeah, my top 5 is kind of just like one. It's kind of like a tier list. Like that's my S tier.
Exactly. Like if I'm showing people Marvel movies, those are the 5 I'm showing.
Yeah, I think our top 5 is the exact same. It's just
different order. Yeah. I can't wait for you to see No Way Home. Like, you know what happens, but
I know everything. But
being able to see it, like,
I'm still gonna be excited when I watch it.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys a week to watch it, but like next week we're going in on it because like we
have to put it in the title, spoilers.
Yeah, I need to talk about some of these scenes because they're just incredible.
Yeah,
and I don't want to. I know there's a couple people that. Because, like, I remember after the movie, people were like, what'd you rate it? And I was like, 10 out of 10. I wanted to talk about it. They're like, no, don't say anything. Like, I don't want to. It's like, it's just so tough. Stay off of social media.
Yeah. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
Learn from my mistakes.
I hate that, man. But it's just so, like, I remember seeing, like, Spider-Man, whatever, and I just closed the app.
And it wasn't even, like, I won't say what the spoiler was, but it was a Catch the Blitz. Shout out to Pac and Cobra and all of them. But like it was a Catch the Blitz post, and it was I forget what it was, and then the reply had the biggest spoiler of the movie.
Oh my gosh, I would be heated if I knew that going in.
It wasn't the comment; it was a regular comment about what the post was about.
Yeah.
But then I pressed the reply, and it's just the biggest spoiler. Of,
it's
of them all.
If you're the person that likes to spoil things to other people, you deserve to get punched in the face. That's all I'm going to say.
I hope you step on a Lego.
Yeah, like, come on. Just don't do it. Just don't be... There was a guy at the theater I was at, 15 minutes left in the movie. I'm not going to say what he yelled, but I was so mad. It didn't come true, but everyone in the theater thought it was going to happen, and we were all just preparing for it. And when we thought it happened, oh my goodness, there were some people crying. I'm not going to lie. There was people...
Have you ever cried during any of these movies?
During a Marvel one?
Yeah.
Or anything? Marvel?
I say Marvel.
I didn't. When I watched Endgame the first time, I didn't cry, but when I watched it the second time, I cried.
Yeah, I had a tear when his wife, what's her name again? Potts. What's her first name? Wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but
Iron Man's wife, when she says, "You can rest now."
Yeah.
Because earlier in the movie, when he said, "I'll shut down the time machine thing," and then she says, "Will you be able to rest?"
Yeah.
And then she says, "Will she rest now?" Or "You can rest now."
Yeah. That's.
And the funeral too, seeing everybody there.
Oh yeah. Spider-Man smiling because they didn't tell him it was Tony Stark's funeral.
They didn't?
Yeah, because he would have given it away. He would have told someone on air. So he's smiling because he thought it was like, I think he thought it was like a get together or something. Oh. But it was It was,
they didn't tell him in real life, so he didn't spoil it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he's not wearing a suit either. I could be wrong.
No,
but
he's definitely wearing a suit.
He is? Okay. But I'm pretty sure I remember like everyone's wearing a suit and someone's not. And I'm pretty sure they didn't know.
And then at the end, just seeing Nick Fury walk into the thing. Damn.
It was like, wow. One of the other ones I remember crying at was Amazing Spider-Man when Uncle Ben died. I think they did that. I like Spider-Man, the originals were better than Amazing Spider-Man, but I think they dealt with loss a lot better in Amazing Spider-Man. Like when you see Uncle Ben die, I was obliterated. It was like 2012. I was like 11 years old. I was bawling in the theater.
They didn't show Uncle Ben in this trilogy, the Tom Holland one.
No, for all we know, he doesn't exist, I think. I could be wrong. I also don't want to give anything away because there's a couple plot points that changed or stayed. I don't want to give anything away. I'm trying to tread water, but like I'm going to give something away by saying it. But yeah, I don't think we know, but we are aware that he was bit by a spider. So we know that. Okay. But yeah.
Yeah, because he says it in Homecoming when Ned finds out. They're walking to where the bank robbery happens, and where the deli thing happened, and he said, "I got bit by a spider."
Yeah,
I love Ned too. By
Ned's
the way,
so great.
I remember after he finds out, he's like, "Can you spit venom?" And, like, asking him all these questions.
No, Ned's asking the right questions. I'll give him that. He like even in No Way Home, there's a question he asks where I'm like, I would want to know the same thing. Like it's not because everyone like looks at like Ned. He's like no, like he's got a good point.
Yeah,
but yeah. I want to go into it, but I can't.
Next week
we'll talk about it. But before we wrap up, I guess I got a question for you because this was a pretty heated debate in my house before I left for the holidays. Is water wet?
It makes you wet. It makes things wet. But is it wet itself? I don't know. And I don't really care because it's not that deep.
No, it's not that deep, but I'm so happy you said that. It's not wet. It makes things wet. Here's my biggest theory. People are like, oh, if you're in water, you're not wet. You're only wet once you get out of the water. If I put a piece of paper in water, is it going to dissolve or is it going to stay a piece of paper?
I actually don't know the answer to that question.
Well, it would dissolve. Like it would if you put paper in water, it's not gonna be strong anymore. It's wet. You take it out, it's still wet. Water itself is not wet. If you put your hand in fire, are you getting burned once you put your hand out of the fire, or is it being burned while it's in the fire? Exactly. So I don't understand this idea of water being wet.
Well, isn't that the same question? Is fire hot?
Fire's hot.
So then is water wet?
But that's the temperature versus a feeling.
That's true.
Water is not wet. The thing in the water is wet.
What is the thing in the water, though?
Whatever the thing is.
Yeah. If it's like
yeah. I think that's the best way to put it. It's like one's a temperature, the other is an inconceivable feeling. Yeah. I thought we were going to get into an argument, to be honest with you. I thought you were going to say, yeah, it's totally. This is the same with that straw. How many holes do you think a straw has? One hole.
There's one hole. It doesn't end.
Thank you. It doesn't end. If you dig into the ground and you come out the other side, did you dig one hole or did you dig two holes? You dig one hole. So yeah, I can't.
Now if you go down and you go this way and like stop it all.
Yeah, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you cut the straw in half, then there's two different holes.
Yeah.
But until you do that, there's one hole.
Yeah.
There's also not zero holes. I don't understand that argument either. There's people that say there's no holes. Yeah, there is, because you can drink through it.
Yeah.
I could not be happier that you agree with me here. I thought we were going to get pretty heated, to be honest with you.
We agree on a lot.
Yeah. If you disagree, let us know why. But you're wrong. I could be wrong.
You're not wrong.
Water may be... No, water's not wet. Or is it? I don't know. The more I think about it.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's get it the heck.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below, and we'll see y'all next week. Take it easy.
Stay wild.
Peace.